Welcome to the Escarpment. This is my model railway build channel and I'm your host Jason. Well, it's almost been a year since I started to put new content up on this new channel. Where's the time gone? Where has 2021 disappeared to? Shortly, I'm going to take you around and sort of give you a bit of a December 2021 layout update and all the stuff that I've sort of been doing since, I guess, the last update video, which would have been back in October. But first, let's have a look at the escarpment progress over 2021. So we'll start over at the viaduct. So you can sort of see here there's been a ton of work around the fascia at the front of this viaduct, both on level 1 and the top level. You can see the sort of shape to the landform that's going to take on around the viaduct there. Up top, level 3, the fascia's been put on. See there, installed and painted up. Now just on the viaduct still, you can see there I've put in the bottom back seam, and you can see there that's the half tunnel that I will be installing on the other side, and we'll go around and have a look at that in just a moment. Around this tunnel here there's going to be scenery on both sides. Now over here there's going to be rock faces that go along this way and climb up, and that's why the shape it is what it is on this side. And I really love the way it's come out. So you can see down here, I think from the last video at October, none of this fascia was on. It's been now put on and painted up, and it just makes it look really, really smart. I'm quite happy with that. Now as we make our way around, just sort of going to show you obviously more of the fascia on the first helix. It's all been done, it's completed. Now what I've got to do, and you'll probably hear me later, I'll talk about more painting. I've started to paint underneath all the legs and stuff like that, but I've got to come back and put a second coat on, and that'll be all completed as well. And again down here, it's finished off around the helix. I guess this part here was missing. That's all now installed. I did mention on a previous video that I was going to cut this section out and sort of just make it in this configuration. Well, that's all done there, as you can see. Come down here. This section here is where I was talking about putting in that half tunnel, just so it gave me more scenic area on this other side over here, because really the landform is going to go over that and you won't see any of that structure over there. Now one thing I'd have started to do, I mean this is only a test piece and it's not right yet, I've got to better design it, but that's, you know, that was part of the tunnel, which, you know, underneath it'll be a bit like that. But again, look, I've still got to do another couple of versions of that and fix it up, just so it doesn't have the lip coming down on this side. It sort of just comes straight. One of the other things I've done here too, I did end up putting a beam of lights across here just to give me some more lit area around here. The fascia will actually come down to about here. It'll give just a nice lighting effect. You can see there, I've just filled in this area here. I've got to come back and just give that a bit of a light sand and then put the couple coats on that. And then basically when I do get to the stage of filling this in, from there over to here, that'll be all one sheet. It'll go around that curve. From this section here to there, this will be coming around to that point. There will be portals there, there, and I'll probably even put one here just to give me enough space to view the trains. When it comes to this section here, I will be putting another face on, and that'll be ducking under this other part here, so it just looks like it's all consolidated into one. So the progress up on level 3, you can see there I've put the background fascia in as well, and that goes all the way around, as you can see there, behind the passenger cars, and that's basically all the way down and ends down to there. Now I've got the step ladder here, so if we take a couple steps up just to show you how it sort of looks. So this part here I've put in, and that's just basically so you're not sort of seeing all the way through to the back of the wood. So I just wanted to make sure it's pleasing to the eye, and you can see there I've done that. All the way around. Obviously too, I've come back and given everything a second coat of paint as well. And right now, so level 3 up here, as far as the infrastructure and the building goes, it's basically completed. There's no more to do up there, so I'm very happy with that. That's another item ticked off the list. So in regards to enhancements and Fixes. I'll start with the first enhancements. I'm going to come back to, it was interesting, I had a fellow modeler that came around and had a bit of a tour of the layout. Anyway, and I remember sort of saying, in hindsight, I wish I had to put a siding up here on level 3, just so it adds some variety when running running sessions, and I could park, a passenger to the side and allow another one to go past. As he was leaving, I sort of said, leave it with me. I might have a bit of a think and see what I can do there. Only due to the fact that there was no way I was going to come up here and pull things apart just to put it in. Closer inspection, and I've got my trusty step ladder here again. There's the track there, and I've sort of measured from on this side, it comes all the way around under here and over there. There's enough space so a 6-car passenger can actually park to the side. And then I was thinking, okay, well, I've got to lay track in there. I've got to put 2 sets of points, one at this end, which will be a curved set of points, and then another straight one down at that end. And basically, how do I get to it? Because obviously I've got level 3 platform in the way. Down there, this is all open still. I should be fine with putting in a set of points and putting in another track. Obviously, I've got to extend out this sound deadening material, and I'll do that all the way around to that side there. Now when it came to this side over here and getting access to track under here, what I've decided to do is I'm going to put the set of curve points right there. But what I'm going to do, because it's going to be awkward and not have too much access to drill the holes, etc., what I'm going to do here is actually take this platform back a bit and sort of cut it down, just so I've got a decent access point to get those curved set of points in there. What I'm going to do is, if there's 2 pieces of track needed here, for those 2 pieces, what I'm going to do is just solder them together so I've got a good connectivity for electricity. And it's really only for this area, because I can get my hands in there and under to lay it. That's not a problem. It's just basically the wiring. So if I've got it wired at one end or the other end where it comes out with the 2 pieces soldered together, that's going to make life really easy. So look, at the end of the day, I can get away and do that. So I'm very happy with that. So that's one of the track enhancements I'm going to do up here, because I think it'll just add a whole lot more to running sessions. And I have mentioned before, so I'm not going to go into any real details. Swap that small curved set of points there for the larger one. Here, when the coal comes out and starts going up the up line, I'm going to make sure they can get access from this track here over to that one, and then that way it can back up into the coal yard over on the north side of Port Kembla. Here, I'm going to be removing this section here. I'm going to bring it down and put in a single slip there, and then down there take out those 2 set of points there, and I'll probably reuse them for down there somewhere, as spoken about in my last video. But as far as other fixes go, I've come across an issue with my track right here, and hopefully that's showing up, but you can sort of see there, one of the rails, I'm not sure what's gone on there, is a little bit higher than the other. Now they're both code 83. I think it must have something to do with this particular insulating joiner there. Something's gone wrong, and it's just, this one's a little bit higher. Look, it doesn't cause any derailments or anything like that because the trains are going that way, but it's still just something I want to make sure is 100% before I go any further, especially with scenery and that type of stuff, and I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Now another thing here, and it was sort of picked up in, I think, the last video with the passenger point-to-point ops. This was actually turned against the run, but it actually went through and it didn't actually rock the camera at all. And now on closer inspection, it's quite loose, so I've got to come back and adjust that so it's a lot tighter. So I've sort of left myself little notes here to sort of come back to. Again, down here, I've probably got to come back, and I've had some issues lately with this particular switch where it's not actually switching off the power properly. So I think I've got to come back and replace that, because every time I fiddle around with the wires behind it, it then starts working. I don't think I've got anything else marked at this stage. Usually when I find things out, I'll normally take some painter's blue tape like that, write on it what needs to come back and be completed or fixed or enhanced or whatever. That's basically where we are for December. With that said, I think we'll head back to the chair. First up, apologies, you're probably going to hear some background noise. I've really got the rain pelting down today, but I really want to soldier on with this video. Now, in saying that, that was the December 2021 layout update, and that will basically see out this year as far as videos go. I won't have a new video out until next year now. Now, in saying that, I do have a couple of weeks of a break over Christmas, and I'll be up here trying to finish off some of those last bits and pieces from the list. Now, some of those items, obviously, I've got some further painting to do. There's not a lot to do now, but I just need to get some of the second coats on, and I just need to seal the back of some of the fascia over on level 2 and 3. As also mentioned, I've got some track work to come back to, got to put in some larger points. I've got some configuration enhancements to do over there on level 1 around Port Kembla. Up on level 3, I've got to do that fix that I showed, and then obviously with the enhancements up here on level 3 to get that siding in, just so I can interchange some of my passenger rakes and just make some of the operating sessions a little bit more interesting. Another item that I've added to the list is I've got to come back over here to my command center and get that set up on the layout properly. With that is also installing my Wi-Fi controller. You see, as these cabs are about $200 a piece, I'm not going to invest to have multi ones of those wireless ones for when people come around for sessions. I'm actually going to have it so people can use their smartphones, use the Android and iPhone apps to control trains. So I guess before we even talk further about these sessions that I need to run, and really what I want to do is get a few people over here and really put this layout to the test, because I really need to understand the current configuration that I have. Will it work under operational loads, and or whether the configurations that I've got gives enough variety for running sessions. Because as you know, or maybe you don't know, I've spoke about in earlier videos that this layout is a dog bone, but it also has point-to-point operations. So a big part of getting to that stage is I've got to come back and I've got to install my control panels. So I'm just going to put up a couple pictures here. You can see these are what my control panels are going to look like. Each one will have its own picture in the background, and I wanted to do something a little bit different and sort of get a nice picture from the actual layout that it's sort of controlling, or the area that it's actually controlling, just to add that extra visual appeal. Now, this next photo is basically the wiring that I'll be incorporating. I really like to keep my stuff simple where possible, and come across this one and just looks really ideal for what I want to do. I'll be using the bi-coloured LEDs between green and red. You can see there's no resistors, because basically my point motors have those internally and they have some current limiting stuff inside. The soldering and the wiring is very, very basic, so this is the way I'll be moving forward with those. So I know I've mentioned the scenic stuff a few times, and I know there's been a couple of comments of late. I guess I just want to make sure I set people's expectations. Now, this is a very large layout. I'm only a single person putting it together. Now, from past mistakes, I've sort of vowed to myself I'm not rushing into the scenic stuff anytime soon. I want to get all the infrastructure in place, or the wiring, or the control panels. I want to make sure I run some sessions prior to that, just to make sure I iron out any bugs with the track configuration. We'll do some terraforming, obviously, in certain areas. I can progress that to a certain degree. Now, I know some people are getting bored and saying, well, the people unsubscribe. Well, at the end of the day, I can't control what people want to do. If you need to unsubscribe, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. This is a journey, it's a big layout, it's going to take some time. Now that basically brings me to the end of this video. It's probably gone a little bit over 15 minutes potentially, so I do apologise for that, but I just thought there was so much stuff I just wanted to make sure I cover in this one. It's been the last of 2021. So with that said, have a Merry Christmas. Hope you get some time with friends and family. Stay safe, and until next time, bye for now.